Hello, ladies. So great to see you. Let's see how we can. We are recording here, and this is the creator studio for Fave Lifestyles. And for some reason, I am not on my screen being speaker view, so I'm just trying to figure that out. Does anyone know how I make myself as we're recording, or whoever the speaker is? Don't you just hit speaker? Because actually, Celeste, you are
top right.
Yeah.
There's a view button.
Yeah, the
Or-
view button at the top.
Okay,
Just
I
click on
have.
Oh yeah,
speaker.
speaker view. I see it.
Okay, for some reason, I am not this. It's not showing me a speaker right now. It's showing Marcia. So hopefully it'll show Claire here in just a second. So a crazy little introduction. So sorry, technology sometimes is not our friend. So ladies, just until Claire has you unmute, you'll want to just mute for just a few minutes while she's kind of giving her introduction and stuff. So again, we're here with Claire Stanley, and our topic today is restore your gut. Restore your get stuff done energy. And oh my gosh, don't we need that, Claire? So I'm so excited that you're here with us. I've been really looking forward to it. And so I'm just going to hand it over to you. You can kind of explain what our topic and our workshop is going to be about, and a little bit about you, please.
Great. Thank you so much, Karen, and welcome, ladies. And I am really excited to be here. If anyone doesn't know who I am Claire Stanley, and I have a practice called Creative Balance Health. I've had it for 13 years, and I am a functional diagnostic nutrition health practitioner, which is a mouthful. But basically, I work with mostly middle-aged women who are looking to restore their energy and their digestion, and perhaps lose a few pounds in the process. And I do that using clinical lab testing and a 5-step process that I will be talking about here today. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
And so you can just go ahead and we'll just jump right into the workshop then.
Oh, okay, good. I'm going to share screen. Sorry. So let me slide into this literally and see if I can get this to go. All right. So are you seeing, I think I need to share my screen. I just realized am I doing that? No, hold on. Share screen. Sorry. Let's do that. And here. All right. And then there we go. It's early. Okay. Now you should see it. All right. Do you guys see everything good? Are we good? I can't see the chat this way,
Yes.
Unfortunately.
It's all good.
So all right. So Karen, I'm not able to see the chat this way, so I'm gonna need you to, or actually I can, never mind. All right, so hi, welcome. So I am here, I will be talking about energy and sleep and why it matters. And let me get this out of the way here. Okay, perfect. So if you are freaking tired of feeling sluggish and uncomfortable in your body, and nothing you've tried has worked, and you don't have the time to make self-care your full-time job, then this workshop is for you. And I've already explained, basically, I am a certified functional diagnostic health practitioner, and I help exhausted entrepreneurial women take back control of their energy, focus, digestive health, and weight. And so basically, just to get started in this, let's see, I'm going to hit along here. There. So I will have this in the chat, just FYI. And we can get it copied and put in there again. There will be a survey that you guys could fill out. I have it on 2 formats. There's a Google link, which is easier to fill out. And then there is a PDF if you want to just work on it that way. And let's see, I can copy and put that into the chat again right now. All right. And then see if I can do that.
That was the Zoom link, Claire.
Oh, thanks. Sorry. Oopsies. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. All right, let's do that again. All right, there we go. All right, housekeeping done. Okay, so lots of quotes about energy. Personal energy is the lifeblood of success. Amen. That's why we're here. All right, so there I was, 3 p.m, and I was collapsed in bed, and I was watching reruns of The Ghost Whisperer in tears because I had 5 new client proposals. I didn't have the energy or focus to finish and deliver. And I was going to be late again picking up my kids from school if I didn't pull myself together, throw on the only sweatpants and top that still fit and covered my eczema body. And also because my eyes had become so sensitive to the light, I had to wear 2 pairs of extra dark sunglasses and a baseball hat in order to drive in the bright San Diego sun, which was sure to embarrass my kids, which it did always. I was struggling to keep up with my workouts and working out with a personal trainer because I had low stamina and I had severe joint pain, and all of my calorie counting and high protein dieting, low carb, it's very time consuming. It just wasn't working. It had helped me lose all of my pregnancy weight twice before, but now all of a sudden I just was bloated and puffy, and I could not figure out what was going on. And I was just watching my scale continue to creep up in horror, basically. I was unrecognizable in the mirror because my doctors had decided that for my itchy rashes, they were just going to put me on prednisone. And this was after they were telling me that my blood work was normal, and perhaps I should try seeing a therapist for my depression and maybe a new trainer to lose the weight. And I was just basically watching my once flourishing advertising career business dwindle before my eyes because I was losing accounts. And I was just feeling way too embarrassed to be seen at all the media and social networking events that I was expected to attend. And I was desperate and trying all sorts of supplements and teas and diets and cleanses and weird, crazy woo out there modalities because I couldn't find anything to work. And I was frustrated and ashamed and desperate that my health concerns were, not being taken seriously. And I really needed to get the answers and the help that I deserved. And this really was the story that I was dealing with. And finally, a friend suggested that I might have some food sensitivities, which was a really new concept 20 years ago. And I found a naturopathic doctor that was, different. They were finally taking me seriously. They were asking me a lot of questions, and I was given a lot of tests that were looking into my gut function and my full stress and hormone panel, full thyroid panel, liver function, neurotransmitters, the whole work. And because of this diagnostic detective work, I finally had answers as to why I was feeling and looking the way I did. And it made sense that it wasn't all in my head. And it was a relief to know what the root causes were of my exhaustion and digestive bloating and heartburn and all the stuff that I was going through. The thing is, it was still hard because I was basically, while I had some answers, getting better, I was just handed a few pieces of paper saying, you can't eat any of these foods and you need to go reduce your stress. Great. Okay, sure. And basically take thousands of dollars worth of supplements and to come back in 3 to 4 months to do more tests. And while some of this made sense during the 30 minutes I spent in this doctor's office, once I got home and tried to follow all these instructions, I became confused and overwhelmed and couldn't really stick to all of this while running a business, trying to dine out with clients and friends and taking care of my family. I had no idea what gluten-free meant. I didn't think the meal plan made sense or was even that healthy, honestly, compared to what I usually ate. And I didn't have any support or any way of getting my questions answered. And so it was just crazy. And I started to feel like all of the tests and supplements were honestly a money grab. And I just never felt like anyone I was talking to really understood how hard it was to do what they were asking me to do and live my life. And they didn't seem to appreciate how much time and money they were asking me to spend. And my situation is not unique. Every day I meet and talk to other women in their 40s and 50s and 60s with the exact same exhaustion, digestion, and weight, and chronic health frustrations, and they're dismissed by their regular doctors who tell them that their blood work is normal, or worse, that their symptoms are to be expected at their age, which is very patronizing. And they're just depressed, maybe that they're just depressed to take some pills or try exercising more, all of these things. And I hear this every day. There is a term for this dismissive behavior, which is medical gaslighting, which happens, mostly to women, especially if you're a person of color, it's even worse. And there's all sorts of statistics on this phenomenon. So instead, I, want to, if you're here, I want to help you achieve the dream of, getting 7 to 8 hours of restful quality sleep each night, waking up with your get stuff done energy and focus restored, and feeling great in your body again. So, if you are someone who is going to feel fired up about what I'm going to talk about over the next 30 minutes. If you're exhausted, if you're a business owner and you're stressed, which is kind of by definition, if you're a business owner, and you don't have the same vitality or stamina that you did before turning 45 or even earlier, but need to get your energy and focus back so you can get your stuff done. If you're not living the life that you're meant to, when you're feeling too tired to fully engage physically and emotionally in your career, in your relationships and activities, and if you've tried supplements, fad diets, a lot of popular diets, uncomfortable detoxes and cleanses, that might have worked temporarily, but then everything kind of came back, and all of this was very difficult for you to fit into your busy schedule. Just didn't give you the lasting results that you wanted. So if you're exhausted and stressed out and running on autopilot, what if you could wake up feeling refreshed, focused, and energized? So you can put in your chat, or maybe have a moment to, Karen can choose someone to speak, but raise your hand if you're feeling kind of tired lately, or if you're not getting a full 8 hours sleep regularly each night.
Claire, I can't see anyone. So if you can see people, if they have something.
I can't see anyone.
Yeah, so let's use the chat. So
we'll use the chat. Sorry, I can't do the slideshow and look at all your smiling faces right now. So put in the chat if you you're walking tired. Yeah, I feel you right now.
Alexa off.
All right. So, well, if you're, so anyways, raise your hand or put something in the chat. So 40 million, let me go back to this other slide. Sorry. Boop. So 40 million Americans, probably more now, are basically suffering from chronic long-term sleep disorders, and an additional 20 million experience occasional sleeping problems. And these disorders interfere with work, with driving, and social activities. And, the cost is in the billions in medical care annually because of health conditions that are as a result of this, plus the costs of lost productivity and other factors. And just basically too many people report they're exhausted these days. And the science of sleep is constantly, revealing new data, and the information is pretty remarkable. It's been proven many, many times over that poor health can directly correlate with poor sleep quality. And however, disrupted sleep patterns can be improved with a little investigation into the causes and simple lifestyle adjustments. All right, Oprah. So today we're going to roadmap. So for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you why we struggle with our sleep and fatigue and how this impacts us, potential consequences if this is left unaddressed, what you can do to improve your sleep and energy, and what that rested reality looks like. So I know your time is valuable and I appreciate you choosing to be here. So as a bonus for showing up and giving me your time and attention, I'm going to give everyone in this workshop a copy of my Energy Recovery Success Workbook. And I will do that at the end. Why we struggle with sleep and fatigue and, how this impacts us. So if you stay till the very end, I'll be giving you a link for that. And then also I had put in the chat, and we put that in there. We're going to have a survey, sort of interactive thing for you to fill out. So if you can there's a PDF version in the chat, and there is also a link to a Google form. So if everyone can get that, that'd be great. All right. So I already kind of told you my as I say, story. But, as a result of this, I was really fired up. Like, I knew there had to be a better way. I mean, I was excited that I got better, but it was not ideal the way this goes. So I did go back to school about 15 years ago and became a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. I'm certified. I'm also an integrative nutrition health coach and a hormone cure coach. And I have advanced certifications. I need to do continuing education and get recertified every 2 years. So to keep up with all of the changes and new information. My mission in my practice is to support women, and I do help some men, to be self-compassionate, feel heard, and become empowered with their health. And I basically help exhausted women restore their energy, focus, hormone balance, and gut function, plus feel great in their bodies again by identifying underlying stressors and helping them to make simple diet and lifestyle shifts. And my coaching programs focus on D.R.E.S.S for health success pillars, which I'll be going into, which is diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, and supplementation when needed, along with medical functional lab tests to help uncover root causes for your health complaints. So let's see. If you can. So basically, what I did after I had kind of gone through this, and quite frankly, once I had started school, I got even more information, and I was able to get my energy and focus and my health back. And now I was, in that determination that there had to be a better way. I now offer not only the same functional labs, but a lot more, and the steps that had helped me, but I do it in a way that works for working women. And I have my energy and focus back. I have a plan. I can sleep through the night. And I have, I'm always checking my deep reparative sleep, and I get nice high numbers there. This allowed me to successfully manage my businesses and work in a fast-paced environment, network, and be sharp enough to take these continuing education classes that I'm interested in. And I have the stamina and time to do Pilates 4 times a week. I go on hikes, and I don't have pain or injury now. And I was able to be the single mom and make sure my kids were grown successfully, and they now are. One's an attorney, the other one's has a VP of a bank. So that, done. And, my mood is back to being optimistic, and life's good. So, I know life stress naturally becomes unavoidable, but I do know when that happens, even to me, what steps to take to stop the inflammation, stomach upset, and fatigue in its track, and to boost my immune strength. Those who've seen me know my skin's clear. People think I'm a lot younger than 60, and my weight is now a healthy number, and my chronic health conditions are in check. So if you have already, I would really appreciate if you should have a sleep and stress survey in front of you. And you can take a minute to fill this out right now together. And it's always interesting for me to see what your answers are, because it helps me decide what to cover in upcoming workshops and programs, and that's important. And at the bottom of your surveys, there are some boxes for special gifts, discounts, and offers. And I will either collect the surveys, or you can send them to me later, and I can send you the workbook and the other things mentioned there. So what I'd like you to do is check the box for a symptom listed if you've had the symptom even once in the past, 30 days or up to 6 months, and let me know, but especially if it's in the past 30 days. So Karen, if you can see, I don't know if you can see people raising their hand, but let me know if you've had, has anyone had more than 5 or 4 or 3 symptoms checked? It'd be good to know. Maybe you can take yourself off of mute too.
Yes, I cannot see anyone, but so people can put in the chat and I can read from there.
Perfect. Okay. All right, I'll give you guys a minute or two. Does anyone need time to get this? Is everyone able to access it? You have more than 5? Oh no. All right. So while you're doing that, here's the thing. If you've had more than one symptom, that means there's something wrong, okay? Because there's never a normal symptom. All symptoms are warnings that the body is breaking down under the present conditions, okay? If you don't act on the warnings, things will likely get worse. Our bodies are amazing machines, and they're constantly sending us information like your car, right? So if the red check engine light comes on in your car, how long would you wait before getting it checked out? Okay, most people wait a day or two to see if the signal goes away, and then they'll take it in. So how long would you wait? And how long would you wait if it was your body? So symptoms are warnings from the body that something is wrong and that the body needs to be checked out. And so, you don't want to just treat the symptom because like that was sort of like I had eczema all over my body and I was given prednisone, and they never asked why I had the eczema all over my body to begin with, right? And they just wanted to kind of put a Band-Aid patch on it. If you just treat the symptom, that's kind of like cutting the wire to just turn that blinking red check engine light off. And for many of us with sleep issues, that's meant maybe taking a pill. It could be a prescription pill, it could be taking melatonin or 5-HTP or something else. And this may be a good temporary patch, but it can bring other issues, and that isn't really addressing why your sleep is abnormal to begin with. So you really want to identify the underlying root causes that caused that warning light to go off, or to any of these symptoms that are in this survey. You wanted to find out why this is happening to begin with. Okay. So has everyone had enough time with that? Let's see. All right. So why are we so tired, and why are we not sleeping well? Maybe in the chat, name your top reason or 2 reasons why you're not getting a good night's rest right now. Staying up late. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, wake up every 3 to 4 hours. That's hard. Stress. Yes, stress. See, I told you stress was going to be important. All right. So the most common reason, and sometimes we may not even be aware of it, is pain. We may have some pain in our bodies. We may have pain in our jaws. I know I have to wear a mouth guard to keep from clenching. Stress. Gut issues. If you are waking up between 2 and 4, and I do ask that in my client intakes. I know, whoops, that is a gut issue. And so that's a tell for me. Inflammation, again, that could be in any part of the body. Sometimes the medications that we're taking, prescriptions or over the counter, can interfere with our sleep depending on timing or something where it may be contraindicated. And that's something, if you are taking a prescribed medication, something you want to always let your doctor know if you're having sleep issues with it. There is the popular hormone imbalance, which can show up as hot flashes or night sweats. Side note on that, that is often secondary. I find that a lot of my clients who report, oh my gosh, my hormones are off and I'm having night sweats and hot flashes again. I thought I was done with this stuff. Oftentimes it's something that we find a bacterial imbalance or things like candida or other gut issues that are actually causing those things to happen. And the hormone symptoms are actually secondary to what's going on in the gut. And the popular mind-body stress connection, which is the popular one. And when it comes to hormone imbalances, the good news is you can always have your adrenal stress hormone and, sex hormones easily checked through functional lab testing, such as the Dutch test, which is something I do with my clients. It stands for dry urine test for comprehensive hormones. And it gives a lot of information. And it's... the mind-body connection is pretty real because sleep cycles are controlled. Let me see here. I've got this here. There. So it's I don't know if you know this, but we have our sleep cycles are controlled by a natural circadian rhythm, kind of very primal function that we have. And staying up late can put undue stress on the adrenal glands, hormones, blood sugar levels, and your detoxification pathways and organs. Basically, if you don't get enough deep sleep, then that you're basically aging your body prematurely. So approximately 7 to 8 hours is required for most people. And ideal sleep starts at 10 p.m. and ends at 6 a.m. with critical deep sleep and cell rebuilding taking place between the Chinese medicine liver time hours of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. And so that's, Chinese medicine calls this liver time, and it's where a lot of our detoxification pathways are going into, overdrive, and we're cleansing our body of toxins. And so if you're waking up during these hours, we know that there's some sort of disruption happening there. And then really important is that each hour of sleep that you get before midnight is worth 2 hours of sleep after, right? So if you're getting to bed, it's almost like you're adding 2 hours if you get to bed at 10 a.m. If you're going to bed at 1, then you're really at a pretty strong deficit there. So what happens if our poor sleep is left unaddressed? Even if you follow a healthy diet and exercise, without getting 7 to 9 hours quality sleep every night consistently, your risk of obesity, high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers, and other medical conditions increase. So how is your life being impacted by your survey symptoms? How's this impacting your activities and family's work and mood? You can share in the chat. So fatigue often results in decreased stamina. I mean, how many times have you put off working out because you just didn't get enough sleep? So it kind of has a snowball effect, I think, when we don't get enough sleep. We're groggy in the morning. We see a lot more work-related and motor vehicle accidents. So that's a real serious consequence there. We can become addicted or dependent on sleep and pain medications. We find that depression and other mood disorders are heightened. I've seen a lot in the media lately that there is definite medical links to future dementia and Alzheimer's issues. This is something very close to me. I have an Alzheimer's family history, and I do possess the gene. So it's something that's why I take my sleep very seriously. I mentioned accelerated aging. I'm pretty sure none of us like that idea. Our immunity goes down. We get sick more often, and we have a harder time shaking things. And the weight gain. It's really hard to lose weight if we're not getting enough sleep. And the stress that causes will find its way to our bellies. That's cortisol belly fat. So it's pretty much something we none of these things sound too appealing. So we have choices that we can make. So the steps I'm going to talk about, the 5 D.R.E.S.S steps for improving your sleep hygiene and energy, they are the functional health pillars that I was trained on, which basically D.R.E.S.S stands for diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, and supplementation, support as needed. So just out of curiosity, put in the chat, what coping strategies do you turn to when you are tired or not getting enough sleep? So that you can function. And how do you feel when you do that? So I'm going to start with diet. And we're going to go real quick with this. So things that you can do with your diet: stop eating meals, big meals, especially 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Okay. And try eating most of your carbs at dinner, because those will make you tired. Beverage strategies are pretty important. Limit caffeine to 1 to 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and then shift to like a white or green tea. And if you're really sensitive to caffeine, just keep that in the early afternoon or morning, and then try caffeine-free herbal options like rooibos or chamomile. I honestly have been surprised. In the past, I had severe, what was referred to as adrenal fatigue, and I was asked to eliminate coffee, and I'm like, no. And the truth is that when I eliminated coffee, especially when I was in a really severe state, I found that I actually had more energy without the caffeine, which seems so counterintuitive, but it is true, because the caffeine really puts a major stress on your adrenals. And a lot of times, if those just keep, if they can't function, it starts to impact your thyroid. A lot of women have autoimmune thyroid condition. So, maybe take that back with the caffeine. I know it's hard. Alcohol, a glass of wine. Who doesn't like a glass of wine before bed? I know I used to. You kind of need to avoid the nightcap. You may not realize it. Alcohol may knock you out, but it also causes dehydration and the elevated heart rate and restless sleep. I wear an Oura ring. I track my sleep, and I have to tell you, I was shocked and really disheartened, because I can tell when I've had more than a glass of wine in the evening. And especially if it's too close to bedtime, my heart rate numbers are tracked and they are really elevated, which means that my deep sleep is impacted and I don't get it. And the deep sleep is the number I'm always looking for, even more so than the 7 to 8 hours, because that's where all the body repair happens. And so if you want to have your body, do the natural detoxification it needs to, if you want to prevent aging, you want to make sure that you have deep sleep and not an elevated heart rate at night. Also avoid liquids too close to bedtime to limit those bathroom trips. So, if you find that you're getting up in the middle of the night to pee, and it's waking you up, then maybe figure out what time you had a beverage last and, push it back an hour and try to, have much more liquids earlier in the day, front load, and avoid it closer to bedtime for that. And then, you can try, there's natural sleep beverages, sorry. Like things like golden milk, chamomile tea, or Calm, which is something I like, which has magnesium citrate in it. Just be careful to not take too much of that, because it'll also act as a laxative. Otherwise, you don't really want that situation to happen. So next we have rest. So you want to identify what you can control in your rest and sleep environment. This is basically referred to as sleep hygiene. Things like noise, light, and temperature. So you want to try to slow down a couple hours before usual bedtime. I have to tell Alexa, because I live alone, at like 5 or 6 o'clock to step away from my desk. So that I'm not, so I need to have time away from what I'm doing for work, because we're self-employed. We kind of bring it home with us sometimes. So I can wind down. Otherwise, I find them too wound up at night and I have a hard time sleeping. If you have noise where you are, or have a partner that's noisy when they sleep, earplugs or white noise machines. When it's hot in the summer and I have to have my windows open, I can hear the 90 from my window here in Mercer Island. And so I do use earplugs. You want to keep your sleeping space dark. All right. This is something I don't know a lot of people are aware of, but any light, including blue lights from devices and TVs and screens and LEDs, all of the equipment we have has these blinking lights now. They send a signal to our primitive brain to reduce melatonin production and stay alert. So, I get these little blackout stickers or electrical tape, and I cover all of those little sensors and blinky lights in my bedroom. I have, blackout shades that I do because I need, especially again in the summertime, there's times where the sun may not even be going down until close to 10. So I need to have lights out. If you're really struggling with your sleep, sorry, I am jumping around here. Beep, back. All right. Electronics in the bedroom, people, especially like if they live in the city, there's basically electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, are emitted by electrical devices. And some people are really sensitive to that. And things like Wi-Fi and these EMFs can disrupt production of melatonin and serotonin. So that is, if you've tried all these other things and you're still having trouble, you may want to, get an old-fashioned wind-up clock, move your phone into another room, don't have a TV in the bedroom, things like that. Bedroom temperatures need to be cool. If we're too hot, the body doesn't like that and impacts our sleep. So bedroom temperature should be between 65 and 70, which really isn't a problem here until summertime. And if you have cold feet, a lot of us women do, especially if you have thyroid conditions, wear socks to bed so the cold feet don't wake you up. All right, exercise, keeping it short. The number one thing with exercise is keep invigorating exercise for morning daylight hours. Do what you're going to do, but I find that like when I would exercise in the late evening, when I was younger, sometimes that would kind of keep me hopped up too with the adrenaline. So instead, try more gentle movement, stretching. There's sleep yoga, such as Hatha and Kundalini for the evening. You can go on YouTube and find free things to do. So you can just do that at home. And stress reduction, calm your mind. This is really important. This is probably a big one. Besides meditation, is really great. Aromatherapy, besides decreasing anxiety, meditation actually can help restore your brain neurons in much the same way sleep does. There's a lot of apps. I know we said no screen times and all that stuff, but maybe, before an hour or so before bed, there's a lot of apps or sleep induced apps offering bedtime stories, guided breathing meditations, and, even calming brainwave entrainment music. You can find like things like Headspace, Calm, Spotify, Insight Timer, and YouTube, and aromatherapy things. I have a diffuser by my bed and I put lavender oils in it. I also have, for breathing, it's like cedar and other types of essential oils. And Rosie could help you with all of that because she's an expert on all those kinds of things. All right. And the last part of D.R.E.S.S is supplementation support. And just a word about supplements, herbs, and medications. We each possess our own unique bioindividuality regarding metabolism and sensitivity. And so we really need to be very careful. Even things like natural herbs and supplements such as valerian root, melatonin, 5-HTP, and even CBD can be effective, but should be approached very, very carefully. Very often the recommended doses are way too strong, especially to start. And our metabolisms change. I have a pretty funny horror story when it has to do with CBD, and where I, was trying this years back and I had a horrible reaction when it was fine before. I've found that even with melatonin or 5-HTP, I could be fine. And then all of a sudden, it just leaves me super groggy in the morning. So just be very aware of that. And there really just, there isn't such a thing as a drug deficiency. You're not deficient in Ambien. So this is really this is really more of a Band-Aid situation. So that being said, always check with your doctor before taking any type of medication or supplement. And many natural sleep aids or herbs may be contraindicated with prescribed medications or antidepressants, and that could be very dangerous as well. So just put in the chat which, what do you think you would try next of these 5 D.R.E.S.S steps to help improve your sleep? Do something with your diet, caffeine, do some gentle yoga before bed, stress reduction, lots of tips there, and then check with your supplementation.
Claire, do we have some more slides? I just wanted to give you a heads up that we have 9 minutes left.
Okay, I'm pretty much wrapping up. So
okay, great.
I'll go quick with this. So basically, just imagine your rest of reality. What would your optimal life look like and feel like if you could accomplish? What could you accomplish if you had this consistent quality sleep? You had more energy, increased productivity, better sex, boosted self-esteem, feeling great in your body. So these are all really good, important reasons: positive mood, better decision-making, to why we would like to have more sleep and rest quality in our lives. And personal energy is the fuel that drives our success. So wrapping this up, I talked about, how sleep and fatigue and stress impacts productivity, how the struggle is real, the impact of stress and exhaustion in our lives. I talked about the 5 D.R.E.S.S, diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, and supplement support when necessary recovery steps, and had you look at what this reality would look like. So in the bottom of the surveys, or you can email me or put, comment in the chat, I am offering a free energy recovery success workbook. And I am also offering $800 off my popular Energy and Gut Health Reset program. That discount will end end of February. And you would want to schedule a free health discovery call to learn more. And then also I have a Balanced Health Boosters newsletters, which is great for health tips, recipes, and upcoming events and offers. The Energy Recovery Success Workbook, I give this to my clients. It has 11 sections, pages to record your goals, food journals, checklists, ideas for some supplement support, activities to help you build your new health routine, and some affirmations, and then some homework to let you put it all into use. And then my Energy and Gut Health Reset program is basically if you want to stop feeling sluggish and uncomfortable in your body, get your get stuff done energy back. But I deal with all of these things like sleep, insomnia, brain fog, bloating, digestion issues, toxic pounds, inflammation, and just not knowing what to eat. And we identify the root causes of these issues. And you would do the stress and hormone profile. We'd look at your gut health and look at your metabolic wellness. So looking at like liver, how well your detoxification system is working and what oxidative stress levels you are. Or if you are someone who suspects you have some food sensitivities, we can take a look at that. And we do some online assessments looking at your adrenal stress, health and lifestyle, and your metabolic diet type. I don't count calories. I look at food as fuel. And so we look more at a macronutrient level to see, what your body's fuel mix needs to be. This is a 6-month program, and you get a report of findings, you get lab testing, you get coaching sessions, 12 sessions. We can do that in person or over Zoom. And this is all done with a HIPAA compliant client portal. And there is, you can have access to direct messaging. I throw in the Real Plans meal planning app, a 1-year subscription, and you get a lot of gifts. And this is a great program. Everyone so far who's been on it's been really happy. And let's see, I think, why is this blinking? Okay, so happy here. And the best way to start with me is to just do a free health discovery session. There's a QR code there. Basically, they're free. They're no obligation. They're 30, 45 minutes. You'll fill out a brief questionnaire and you'll get a lot of answers. You'll walk away with something you didn't have before, and you'll get some attention that you'll deserve regarding your health concerns. And my Balanced Health Boosters, that goes out weekly. And there's that's where I do my recipes. And there's some, other information in there. And that is all, folks. So thank you very much. So I am here to answer questions. And you can scan if you want a health discovery session. Follow me on social. Basically, I'm at Creative Balance Health for everything. And I am going to stop sharing now. There, I'm back.
Claire, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that's a lot to take in. And I don't know, is there anyone here who just feels just totally healthy and doesn't need help? I think we're all there. I saw, oh yeah, I go to bed too late, and just it's even interesting just to put into, you asked us what's one thing that we could do. And yeah, that's interesting to just be able to at least focus on one thing. What could we do? But just think if we felt great every day and had energy, what would that look like for you? Yeah. So ladies, do you have any comments, questions for Claire? Feel free to unmute. Let's go ahead and stop. I'm going to stop recording right now so people can feel free to